you disagree that there has been violent action against people who have been labeled as pro-genocide? You can't. You literally can't.
That's so nebulous that like almost certainly. But why would we use that massive? Why would we hold on? Why would we use that massive a grouping? That just seems like you're trying to web people together for no reason.
He is labeling these people as pro-genocide when people are getting
but he's been doing that before this.
For this opinion, and they're not even pro-genocide.
Who's gotten killed for that opinion?
What are you talking? The niggas who went to the Israelis who went to the
Israeli diplomats.
I think I might just start taking notes.
Who are actually an active part of the fucking government.
People from the embassy who went to the thing?
Okay, so actual Israeli government officials.
Yeah?
Okay, you don't think that had anything to do with them being Israeli government?
Is that an okay thing? Why are you saying that? Like it's like
wait,
okay.
Hold on,
so then
just so we're clear. No. Let me explain. Let me cook for 2 seconds to explain. I'm saying that you are trying to connect those things, and I have no evidence that it's because they were talked about on the internet as pro-genocide or something. I have no evidence of that. I have every piece of evidence in the world to know that to think that they were targeted as diplomats of Israel, actual government officials. But you are trying to broaden what the actual connection is and say anybody who's labeled pro-genocide. Guess what? There are some people who are pro-genocide, and those people should be criticized. And I'm not going to not criticize them because some schizophrenic went and attacked Israeli embassy members. That's fucking insane.
Fuck, nobody's talking about criticism. We're talking about the manner in which you criticize people in a highly politicized time. If you don't want to use that example, which I disagree on the merits with that, like, oh yeah, they were part of the Israeli, and they could have been anti-genocide. They literally could have been pro-Palestine. Like, just the argument that they worked at a fucking building is not an argument. I don't believe that's a valid argument.
But I'm telling you, that's how they were found.
But even still, you can look at other instances.
You understand that I'm not arguing it's justified, right?
Or whatever that happened.
Just to be clear, you understand I'm not justifying that killing, right?
Huh?
You understand I'm not justifying that killing, right? I'm telling you that the reason they were found, the reason they were targeted was because they're Israeli diplomats. Do you disagree?
What?
He went to a function for Israeli diplomats? Do you disagree that the guy went to a function for Israeli diplomats?
Wait, we're even bringing up that one? They weren't diplomats. I know they weren't diplomats. Yes, he's talking about the shit. He's trying to defend the shooting now. Dude, fuck me, dude. No, I know that. Yes, and it wasn't embassy. They were exiting the museum, right? They were exiting a fucking museum for Jewish, whatever, Holocaust, whatever. It was insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it was a Israeli. I'm not sure if it was an Israeli. I thought it was just a history. Like a historical thing at a Israeli or a museum.
It was young. I believe it was either young Jewish diplomats or young Israeli diplomats.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, something like sure.
So it wasn't like their genocidal beliefs. It wasn't saying, hey, these.
They weren't even like diplomats, right? They were training to become diplomats. I think, if I remember correctly, they were training to become diplomats, right? The fact that he even says that they are diplomats in the first place, like, because he wants to justify a little bit more. But I think that level of pedanticness is it's important, right? Like that level of pedanticness is important, right? You can't just exclude that part out of it.
People are genocidal. It was their connection to Israel, right? It was their connection to.
Because if people were just training to become diplomats, it's a little less justified, okay, in their eyes, probably, right?
A Jewish thing. You went to a Jewish anti-Israeli war function.
We don't
I don't believe that's true, Frenzy Freeze.
We don't know.
I don't believe that's true.
We don't know those people. I mean, what wasn't like? I'm not sure if it was ever confirmed. Wasn't it like that in that meeting they were talking about like aid and stuff like that? How to get aid to Gaza?
I believe the woman who got shot, I think, worked with some agencies. But honestly, we did a little deep dive into those agencies. They don't seem very compelling to me.
Okay, so the point that I'm trying to make with this is it regardless of this they were.
Okay, all right, hold on, gotta write this down. God, fucking hell, denounce. Bring up screenshot where Jstlk says denouncing means nothing to him.
Targeted by proximity to the Israel.
Just FYI, again, whenever he denounces something, it means nothing. The reason it doesn't mean anything is because he literally said verbatim in his own fucking server that denouncing and denouncing something doesn't mean shit. This is literally what he thinks. Literally, okay? So this is why it's important to point out these things, because when he actively denounces something, it means nothing. It means nothing. Okay, and he's doing it on purpose. Okay, just
Israeli
FYI,
administration. I find no evidence that he did a deep dive into all of these specific people's political affiliations, or anything like that. He just killed people because he believed that they were sufficiently connected to the Israeli government.
Yes. Yep. That's what he did. So
Yes,
why?
and
so now that
So
how
that
does that
means
map
that there
on
are
to
people who
Ethan
are
Klein?
being killed for their connection to the Israeli government.
Yes. So how does that
Okay.
map on to Ethan Klein?
That maps on because you have a clear motive.
You said,
for
just to be
people
clear,
committing
You
domestic.
said pro-genocide, right? Your point was it was a pro-genocide narrative. If you call these people pro-genocide, that's going to get them killed. That's what you were saying. Now you're saying it's a connection to the
I
Israeli
never
government.
said calling them
You see how those are
pro-genocide
slightly
will
different,
get them
right?
killed. I
Sorry,
said
we'll make them a
that
potential
in an
target for
environment
violence,
where
and
in
people
which
have been
being
targeted for
called
that position.
pro-genocide can get you killed, which is absolutely the case because these
let's see. When you debate, anti-fans do not get bogged down on individual details. They are trying to distract you from the overall take. Yes.
people
But
these
it
people weren't just
hasn't.
targeted just because they were in the Israeli government. They were targeted because they believe the Israeli government is pro-genocide. That's the reason why. The connection is that they all believe.
Oh, also, you should call him out when you think he is being bad faith and don't let him gaslight you. Okay.
That you're sufficiently pro-genocide if you support Israel.
If you are
or
willing to be a
you-
functionary of the government
you-
of Israel.
Your opponent can counter that by saying you're refusing to get into the weeds, as Destiny says the weeds are most important. Nah, I think at some point you should just say something is retarded, okay? Just because it's retarded, right? Like the thing is that like I can see how that can be used in a bad faith way. You can just call that out as bad faith and let the audience decide, okay?
What?
Yeah.
They
Who the fuck should take? No, I'm taking notes.
believe
of
you're
this
sufficiently
conversation.
pro-genocide if you're willing to be a functionary of the government of Israel, like a
Taking
diplomat
notes.
for the
No,
government.
where was it stated that it was explicitly that it had that was the only reason that they were targeted was because they worked at that specific
I don't
place.
think that's the
Where
only
was it
reason. I do think the genocide thing is downstream, but I think the connection
do you
has
think
to be
if there
stronger
do you
than just
think
being
if,
pro-genocide or
yeah,
pro-Israel.
do you genuinely think if that person knew for a fact that those people were working in the Israeli embassy in an antagonistic fashion towards the Israeli colonial
I don't
project
think-
or whatever the
hold on,
fuck
I
they
don't
want to
think-
call it, do you think he would have targeted them?
No.
Okay, so you agree with me. It is a pro-genocide thing. And he just assumed that because they worked there, they were
But
pro-genocide.
the direct, just so we're clear, the direct connection, you work for this country that is committing a genocide, that is actually doing ethnic cleansing. I don't believe the genocide part, but ethnic
it's,
cleansing
no.
probably, okay?
That was used as
DGG is full of retarded dipshits, then it really doesn't spell out for the rest of the space, okay? If DG is full of retarded dipshits, then the rest of the space is filled with downy retard, okay? Extra 5 chromosomals with vegetables for brains, okay? With brain tumors the size of soccer balls, drooling out the side of the mouth like, all right?
evidence for the real target, which was the pro-genocide. That's my point. It's not
If
because
that was
they
the
worked
real
at
target
this. It's
and
because it
providing
was
material support
enough of
wasn't.
a signal to this guy that they were pro-genocide that they would do it. So my argument
You have
is
to
that when we're
materially
calling
support
people
the genocide,
pro-genocide,
right?
when
You
we're
are
calling people
materially supporting them by working for them, right?
No, you don't know that. He doesn't know that. He is assuming.
He doesn't know that. He is assuming. But I'm telling
He's
you that
assuming
working for the
that they
Israeli
are
government, helping the Israeli government work is probably to most people a bigger connection than just being like, yeah, I support Israel. Right?
Yeah, and do you think
Oh, interesting.
that
By the way, the
do you
guy
think
was
that people,
definitely
do you
not
think that
anti-genocide.
people in Hasan's audience believe that people like Ethan and Ela Klein are aiding the Israeli government through, let's just say, PR? Yes or no?
Possibly, but it's like a level.
Oh, come on. This is so fucking
That-
dishonest.
By the way, the
Do you
guy
think
was
that people,
definitely
do you
not
think that
anti-genocide.
people in Hasan's audience believe that people like Ethan and Ela Klein are aiding the Israeli government through, let's just say, PR? Yes or no?
Possibly, but it's like a level.
The answer is yes, you fucking moron. You absolute fucking buffoon. You absolute retard. You fucking 40 chromosome, like fucking, like dumb fuck. Yes, the answer is yes, you fucking moron. Because Hasan has literally been pushing this in his fucking argument. I'm sorry, in his fucking points for like a fortnight at this point. Sorry, not to be confused with number one victory royale. Okay, no.
Answer is absolutely
right?
yes. He said as much. I believe he has said as much himself.
I believe everybody in his audience. So this is getting dicey because I don't think political violence is ever the answer, but I don't think that people who are media personalities have ever been laid out as targets by the people in that sphere.
This is what I mean. Do you think Jason would twist himself in the presence of Sergeant Steelman, Hasan?
Unless you want to count Bad Empanada? But I'm telling you, Noah Sampson did a video where he explicitly said, I'm calling for violence. And who did he name?
Well, sure, but yeah, of course I would include Bad Empanada. He's on there. They signal boost him all the time. He's like...
The answer is yes. H3 and Destiny is funding the war for Israel. I wish they were that powerful, okay? I wish my man Destiny, okay, with like fucking 5K concurrent when he's researching COVID, is that powerful when he funds the war in Israel. That is crazy. I'm so glad he has like billions and billions of dollars to donate to the Mossad, okay?
Their pal, their friend.
Wait, who did Noah Sampson name? Because I could have sworn Noah Sampson talked about,
I'm talking about Bad
weapons
Empanada.
dealers. Sorry, I'm talking about Noah Sampson because he did a video where he explicitly called for violence. He did what? Arms dealers in the U.S. He did like their factories.
I think it was
US
infrastructure,
right? Yes.
Yeah, politicians.
So
Loner Box did
explicit calls for violence. Yeah, he did explicit calls for
violence. And so Loner Box,
that's like a guy who's actually going out and calling for violence, and he is not. He's not going after like media personalities who support Israel.
What do you mean? In that video, he was talking about media personalities that supported Israel, no?
Sure, but I don't believe he laid them out as a target for violence, right?
Wasn't that the whole point? Is that his argument was that they would be included as well? That the whole apparatus would be included?
Yep. I need to go find the clip then, because no, I thought it was explicitly
politicians, and he laid it out very deductively.
Weapons dealers, and the infrastructure used to provide weapons to Israel. I thought those were the people that he explicitly called for violence against.
I thought there was also another. I thought it was like maybe like politicians, and then it was. But the argument for the basis of the weapons dealers wasn't just material support, and the politician wasn't just material support. It was also like paying support beyond it, like what you call it. I wouldn't say PR, but it was like political support. But either way, nonetheless. Because I'm not going to just hold everything up just because over clip. Let's just say that it was exclusively over like military infrastructure and stuff like that. In a time like this, where there are direct calls to violence, you have to, as a content creator, be more careful with your speech. You have to be. Like you are always going to have to be.
I think sorry, is. Get it? Because his name is Ahrelevant, okay? Would you say that Ahrelevant is Azrael? Azrael Dreamer? Undertale?
Based on this, there has been a spike.
I don't think Hasan has to be more careful than this. I think Hasan has been... I think he's failed to be careful in the past, and I've called him out for that. To me, the Tom Cotton one's the most obvious one, where he's just clearly saying we should kill this guy, right? He's clearly doing that in that Tom Cotton tweet. I don't think he's quite gotten as bad in most other cases. This is not one of those cases. This is a case where people are blowing this up. There's a reason why it took 4 or 5 days for this to come out, by the way, as well. It's obvious when you look at the context of the clip that this is not true, right? That he is not calling for Ela Klein's death. But it comes out 4 or 5 days later, 4 days later.
If you're being charitable to him, sure.
No, I don't think it doesn't require any charity. It requires a blank slate reading of it. You have to be uncharitable to him.
Like I said, I literally showed this to somebody who has no political, like anything. They're just a normie. And they were like, yeah, that sounds like they're putting Ela Klein on the same level as all these other people.
Okay, stop. The fucking live chat is not a space for you to get people into VC, okay? You can just ask the server, okay? Jesus.
Her former actions, sure.
No, I'm telling you what I spoke to another Homo sapien about. I'm relaying to you what another human
did that
entity
Homo
told me.
sapien just to be clear, did that Homo sapien think that Hasan was calling for Jstlk to be killed?
Yeah. No. To be clear, they said. They said. I'll give you their exact words as I remember them.
Sorry, you're fine.
It sounds like what they're saying is that Jstlk is the same as these people inside of Gaza on the West Bank.
I'm gonna install more mods.
Okay, that's not what I asked. I said, did the person think
that's
that they were
kinda
calling for
all you
Hasan
need,
Piker?
though, right?
No,
because
it's not
in
all
the
you
context
need,
of the
because
claim,
the only way it's defensive violence, right? There's a group like literally transgressing on you.
I'm just telling you what a person without any kind of terminally online brain said. This is all I'm doing, and the implication of that, hey, they're the same as this other group, is like, yeah, it sounds like they're saying
terminally online brain. I don't even. I'm just watching the clip, and like I've literally written out the statements.
I'm saying that we're both terminally online, and we have biases about this.
I mean, you could call it terminally online, or you could say people with a political understanding, who know the situation. If you have no context for Israel-Palestine,
nah. And again, you don't be gaslit, okay? You want there to be. I think you need to be. I think you need to like detect when you're able to kind of zoom out and go, yeah, I think this is just retarded. I think you're being bad faith. I think you're lying. Or I think you're so wrapped up in your thoughts right now that you're not thinking about what the average person thinks, right? I think you're wrapped up in your thoughts so much to the point where you're not like thinking straight, right? I think at some point you just need to cut the rope, okay? Like genuinely, right? Like genuinely, you need to, at some point you just need to be totally real. Hey, by the way, I just think you're being retarded. Okay, you're being bad faith, you're being dishonest, and honestly at this point I can't really convince you, right? Make sense? Because you'll notice at some point when I was debating people, I said that, you know what, at this point I think you're lying, I think you're being bad faith, I think you're lying, I think you're being bad faith, right? Like, you need to be able to call them out on this, okay? Push back.
If you have no context for Israel-Palestine, you could easily misunderstand this. You might think, by the way,
because some people will always argue like, oh, we need to debate the details, we need to debate the kind of weeds of the situation, which is fine, okay, you're fine with that, but at some point there needs to be like a fucking bottom basis, okay? There has to be a basis. I'm sorry, but there has to be a basis for reality, okay? If you don't even operate on the same level of reality as other people, there is like unironically no point, in my opinion. Like, there's literally no point if they aren't even operating on the same level of reality as you, okay?
This has happened to everybody. When he says, oh, former Fatah members, former Fatah militants, right? There's Asmongold and Tectone both thought that meant former IDF soldiers. Like, Fatah was like a division of the IDF or something. So if you don't have any context on this, you don't know anything about this.
This wasn't an argument about them not knowing a term.
Sure, but I'm telling you that many people interpret it that way.
That's not an argument. That's not my argument. And if anything, that would pertain closer to my argument.
Does your friend know Israel-Palestine?
People are not going to understand this and are going to jump to conclusions.
Does your friend know Israel-Palestine?
Not really, no.
Okay. Does he know what you were talking? Does he know like what Hasan was saying at all? Like, does he have any context for this at all? I'm not talking about being terminally online. I'm talking about literally just.
Yeah, they watched the clip.
Yeah, but do they have the context for the clip? Like, do they know about? Like, I feel like you can't even interpret this clip. I've watched so many people fail to interpret this clip because they don't know anything about Israel-Palestine. Did you tell them that doesn't mean like former military members?
Yes, I answered all of their questions about the various groups that they asked.
Okay, did they ask about Fatah? They asked what that was.
Oh, it wasn't relevant. They knew that they were referring to whatever. You could tell by the in context. Like, I think you kind of just have to not be super bright or maybe motivated to think that was referring to a different group.
No. For the clip that I'm talking about, there's definitely it's cut so that it sounds like that. But if you're right, I think if you go back and watch the whole thing, it does actually lay out that those would be Palestinian militant groups, militia groups. Okay. Anyway, do we want to keep watching through this? By the way, I'm saying that I think people need some actual evidence that their violence would help. And I think there's just so many people who are pro-Israel that targeting people based on the pro-Israel belief, or even like a pro-Israel, I support Israel in their genocide belief, wouldn't be enough. They're looking for people who have tangible, like, who provide tangible material support. and not just in some like voice type way.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Sorry Food and everyone watching. Didn't mean to imply this stream is boring. Food is awesome.
Hey, dude, there's no, listen, you're fine, okay? There's no reason for you to even do that. Thank you so much for the $5 though. But like, I don't, dude, I'm not upset at you whatsoever. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that though. Thank you for the 5.
I believe that is literally like a part of the guy's argument in the manifesto, the shooter's manifesto, right? Is they need to be tangibly a part of it.
Okay. I mean, we don't have any evidence to show that he knew that they were tangibly a part of it, no?
He was following the groups or whatever, like some of these people. I believe was he following the guy, or was he just following the Heritage Center? I can't remember now. We're trying to trace like how this came out. I don't know why we haven't found any of it.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, my argument just comes down to I believe that the caliber.
You've been mind fucked by Destiny into this weird debate bro logic. It's actually fucking sad. Okay. 09 Ghost, hop in the gourd.
So at the end of the day, my argument is pretty simple. Saying this specific thing, even in context, to his audience, who is specifically weaponized to believe that this woman is pro-genocide, is very dangerous because, especially in the context of the time that we live in, it makes them far more likely, his audience that is, far more likely to want to or think it's justified to engage in physical action against this person.
Yep.
Sorry, say that whole thing again. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention for a second.
It is.
Wait, and they hit and they attacked me for being anti-attention. And they attacked me for being anti-attention. Okay, dude. All right.
It is wrong because given the context of how frankly retarded Hasan's audience is, saying something like this has a very reasonable interpretation of lowering their opinion of this person to a point where in which somebody might feel justified in taking action, physical action against this person.
One, I would argue that this did not lower their opinion of Ela Klein one iota. Okay, everybody knew that she went on that night raid. That is a constant talking point for everybody in this sphere. Did not lower their opinion of him one iota. Okay. 2, we have no evidence. So you keep saying he's got a retarded audience. We have no evidence of somebody in his audience like going and killing somebody because they support Israel, right?
But we have evidence of people in his audience sending him skulls. We have evidence of people in his audience.
Where? So, go ahead. Show me the evidence that somebody in Hasan's audience. Do you believe Bad Empanada sent the skull?
Bad Empanada literally claimed it. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Who cares whether or not he is trolling or not? It doesn't matter. If you joke about something like that, you should claim it to be true because this is someone who hates you, okay? Again, this is someone who hates you who is claiming responsibility for something that's bad that has happened to you. You know what? Whether or not they're making a joke, it doesn't really matter, does it? Too bad. Okay, you can't just say, "Oh, JK, JK, JK." Okay, I was just joking when it no longer, when it no longer like fits with your life in any way, right? Like fuck me, dude. Like fuck. Okay, I didn't phrase that correctly. You guys know what I mean, right? Like you can't just do it whenever things get too hot in the seat for you. Okay, you're burning your ass, and you're like, I want off the hot seat. But no, okay? We're gonna tie your fucking ass down to the toilet, okay? So your ass can be fucking scorched and burning, and your balls can be on fire, okay?
Oh, sorry, to be fair, excuse me. I should have said justifying it. That is fair enough. Justifying it. I consider that pretty much just as bad. If you're saying it's good to send this guy skulls,
justifying it is as bad as sending the skulls.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, when you have a platform, yes, absolutely. If you're like, yeah, it's a good thing, it's funny, somebody else should do that again. I think it is funny that CPS did that and monetize. Isn't Bad Empanada the guy who monetized the CPS shirt?
So I dislike this thing where you have to put this whole group together. You have to put Bad Empanada, all of Hasan's orbiters, Hasan, H3 Stark, and like all of anti Ethan Twitter together into one group, and then take every bad action done by anybody in that group and apply it to every other person in every other group that's attached in any way. That's like that's crazy.
No, all I have to do is just say the people he has on his
connected.
stream. No, all I have to do is say the people that he has on his stream.
Do you believe that he
That's
has
it.
significantly platformed Bad Empanada?
Objectively, he has significantly platformed Bad Empanada.
So you're saying by
he
being on
has.
his stream, by watching his videos, is what you mean?
No, he was on a stream with him. Like several
Not Hasan-
times, no?
Was it Hasan's stream or was it No Samson stream? I haven't kept up. So
It was no Samson stream, but you would never apply the same standard to Destiny. You would never, ever, you would never apply the same standard to Destiny. Hold on. Platform, Hasan, Bad M, crossover, subpoint. You wouldn't apply this to Destiny. Okay.
I saw the Noah Samson. He's talking about the charity
Very cool.
stream. Yep, that shit. And then playing his videos on his stream. Yeah, endorsing him verbally on his stream. Yeah, absolutely. And then Noah Samson, who also justified the skulls, was on his stream as well, literally physically sitting next to him. So yeah, he has these people in his house.
Sure. So now he's responsible. So anybody that you've had on your stream or anybody that you platform in anything but the most heated, controversial of ways, you're responsible for all of those opinions, right? You bring somebody into your house, you're responsible for all of their opinions?
No, when you bring those people, after you know these very significant negative things, right? After it has come to your attention, you have these people in your place, and then to continuously shit on these same people that you believe that are in question, like I would argue
We shall blowing up in viewership. No, I'm falling off, bro.
that having Noah Samson on and Noah Samson shitting on Ethan and Hila, that is what I'm talking about. It's not that he had Noah Samson on to talk about some charity drive.
Also notice where the conversation is going now, right? I think this is a very deliberate moving away from the conversation, okay? This is a very deliberate moving away from the actual topic, yeah? Like remember the original topic, which is arguably the most important topic, is about the association between Hila Klein and, all this violent rhetoric, right? He should have kept on hammering on that. That is the main thing. He should have gotten a concession of Jstlk or forced the concession of Jstlk.
That they were doing, and nothing, literally Ethan Klein and shit never got brought up. They were talking about like giving food to homeless people or some shit. That's not what happened. He would have them on, and they would literally make fun of Ethan and Hila on the stream, knowing full well that Noah Samson is saying shit like, yeah, the skulls were funny.
I do believe that Noah Samson is 100% endorsed by Hasan. I was not saying he wasn't. I was saying that I don't believe Bad Empanada is endorsed to the same level. Although, probably we're starting to get there. Bad Empanada, I believe, is endorsed for his
how is he
essays
not
on
endorsed
Israel.
at the same level?
Can you tell me
I'd say the only reason why Bad Empanada didn't sit next to Hasan is because that guy's like on the run or some shit.
When he's talking about Bad Empanada, can you tell me where he's endorsed him, where he said positive things? Like, what are the positive things he said?
I would have to.
Moth Romance donated $2 to Super Chat. Some Jewish money for you. Thank you so much. I love Jewish money. That's in dollars, by the way. That's not shekels. Thank you.
Just
I
a
appreciate
drink.
that.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Some Jewish money for you.
Thank you. That's $2 though.
Get a clip, but yeah, he said like, I think I remember at one point him saying like, while Bad Empanada is unhinged sometimes and stuff like that, I think his like heart is in a good place, or he goes after the pro-genocidal maniacs or something like that. Yeah, there was a clip.
I believe he said his
Yeah.
Israel-Palestine video essays are well done and well researched. I disavow anything he does on Twitter or anything outside of that, but his videos are.
That's an endorsement, you fucking moron. You absolute fucking retard. Oh my god, dude, he would never make this kind of argument. He would never make this kind of argument for Destiny. Ah. He's so bad, dude.
Are good, right? But hold on. That's going to be my understanding as of like 4 months ago. I've not followed this stuff very much recently, so it's possible 4 to 5 months, past 4 or 5 months, he might have said something more.
Okay, yeah. Without like clip farming or clip hunting, sorry, we would need to. I guess we can agree to disagree on that. Somebody sent me the Noah Sampson clip, and I'm curious.
Noah
I'm gonna
Sampson's
watch
a
it.
totally degenerate loser. Fuck that guy.
Let me take a look.
Wait, what the fuck? I mean, this is the first time I ever heard of this, but
Total piece of shit.
you will live? I'm here to hate his A-logs? Okay.
The politician. Oh no, he said the propaganda.
Listen, dude, I have plenty of Destiny anti-fans in my audience. You're welcome.
Yes. He said the propagandists, the politicians, the weapons companies. So, and he objectively calls Destiny, for instance, a propagandist. He calls
Yeah, sure. If he said the propagandist, then I would say
for every single content creator.
Sure, I would say if he said
one.
propagandist, then I would say he's targeting content creators 100%.
Here, I will link it to you. I'm sure you.
I believe you
me,
100%. Yeah, I believe you.
Okay,
100%.
yeah. He said the propagandist.
Because I could have sworn he said the content
Hasan
creators
is
and the
willing
weapons
to have
dealers.
on people on his program after
Politicians
they
and
had a
weapons
controversy directly calling for violence against other streamers.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the type of audience he's cultivating. And so
Wait,
when
actually, we do need
have
to
a
watch
moment,
this real quick. Or I'll pull it up.
huh?
You sent it to me. I'll pull it up. Did you throw it in the general chat?
Oh shit!
You threw it in the
Yeah.
gen
No,
chat?
no. Do you want me to throw it in Gen, or I can just DM it to you?
Do I want you to? You DM it or throw it in gen chat. Either one doesn't matter.
Okay, my bad. Here's the DM. I didn't.
Okay,
shit.
so just I have to walk this argument all the way back before we start watching this. We will start watching it, but I have to start walking the argument all the way back. So because he's platformed Noah Sampson, who has called for violence towards propagandists and these people, and even though he's never explicitly avowed violence, and I believe he said political violence based on speech is not valid. No. Like, I believe he disavows political violence. I believe Hasan explicitly disavows political violence, right?
I don't think he has ever explicitly disavowed.
Let me see. Why is he making this argument, guys? No, he's just bad faith. That's it. I don't even know what I'm expecting from this. Jesus. Bad Epinata disavows political violence. Okay, all right.
Avowed political violence against people he considers to be pro-genocide.
Okay. Ogre Boy, you got a
Jstlk's anti-fan arc has seriously broke his brain? Yeah, no kidding.
clip showing otherwise, that would be fine. But I'm saying, so basically, if he has not made it clear that he opposes political violence against people, I'm trying to steal man you, by the way.
Here, join my Discord server, guys. Please.
If he's not made it clear that he opposes political violence, and he platforms, as in he has Noah Sampson on his show, who has called for political violence in that video, then when he also says Jstlk went on this night raid, then he is, because his audience hates.
Watching Jstlk is like watching Dora with an extra 21st chromosome. Asking you to point out things that are blatantly in view.
I'm sorry, my sense of humor is broken, okay? Thank you so much, Wanbit, for the $5. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Jstlk, he's lowered her reputation really significantly.
I know, it's literally Blue's Clues. Well, Blue, you sniffed out a clue?
She is now going to fall from outside of that range of politically viable for political violence into the range for viable for political violence. And even though he isn't trying to do that, he's unknowingly doing that because his audience believes, and he's lowered his opinion, the opinion of the audience enough that they will now see her as a target for political violence.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. So if we apply that same standard,
Well, he
across
doesn't
the board,
condemn
do you think that
political. He
leaves
does
us
not
in
condemn political violence that comes from his friends. I've never seen him condemn Noah Sampson.
Sure. Dude, why can't more people be like Ahrelevant? If you're gonna dislike Destiny, that's fine, okay? I don't blame Ahrelevant for going away from Destiny, okay? I don't care. I don't care when people distance themselves away from Destiny. I literally don't give a flying fuck, okay? What I care about is whether or not you're brain broken by that split, okay? if you're brain broken by that split, maybe nobody should ever listen to you ever again, okay? Yeah, it's almost as if what Hasan has done is still bad. Yes, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You can actually dislike Destiny and Hasan at the same time, you fucking moron. You absolute fucking buffoon. You don't have to defend Hasan at every single given opportunity and fucking lick his balls.
For
okay?
saying
Sure.
this. I've never seen him do that.
I
So
haven't
he
seen it.
doesn't
I don't know,
condemn-
but I don't know if he's aware that Noah Samson said it.
Yeah,
right?
yes, he is. But no, let's stop playing games. He is. There is
Okay.
there was so many people. I promise you that somebody either
You think by
Dan
virtue of
Sullivan
like you
himself
probably
or
think
somebody
he follows
Dan
Lonerbox
Sullivan
enough that
added,
like he would
like a
see
million people.
Lonerbox's
He saw
denial
it.
of this.
If he
Sure.
didn't bring it up on stream, it's because he's ignoring it maliciously.
Sure.
Okay, that's the only reason why. You cannot be that
Sure.
big and not hear of something like this.
I think you
so-
definitely could, but it's
No, you
like
cannot.
I don't
Not-
need to.
when
I don't
Noah
need to assume
Samson
that. We
comes
can
on the
assume
stream,
not.
You're telling me that there is nobody who's adding him with this. There's nobody who's mentioning this in the chat. There's nothing. There's nobody. He's just insulated from this entire controversy surrounding. I think Noah's like one of
somebody
his
could
closest
have messaged
content
him,
creator
sure.
friends.
Yeah, I think he's friends with Noah Samson. I honestly, if you like ask me for sure, I don't know that he disavowed anyway. Like even if it was like brought up on stream, I don't know if he disavowed.
Definitely wouldn't. He would just say that it's like out of context or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so in that context of somebody who does not disavow political violence directly called towards people who are quote propagandists, when he includes propagandists as like Twitch streamers, he's not disavowing any of these things. He's platforming these people, signal boosting them, saying that they're good representations of that explicit thing that they're calling to violence for Israel-Palestine, right? And he's also signal boosting people who are engaged in the types of shit that Bad Empanada is engaged in. And then he makes this claim about Ela Klein, and even in the context that he is, yes, I believe that is harmful because explicitly to his audience, that is going to make them more likely to view it as, maybe it's not a bad idea if somebody were to smack that chick.
So would you say that because of this, Hasan supports violence? He supports political violence.
He does, objectively. Hold on. Oh my god, please. Please. Okay. All right.
Yeah, in his content, absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is Jstlk gonna say?
So I'd say everybody. So would you say that?
Oh no, that's probably his bad faith chocolate. Fuck me.
Hold on, I'm gonna text you an argument.
I feel like I'm cooked.
Okay.
I feel like I'm like losing years off my life listening to this. Yep, I'm definitely losing years of my life.
So you think that follows pretty
feels
easily,
great.
right?